Hello there, YouTube. What is going on now here? It's Weather Buddies Forecasting Central, back at you with another U.S. weather forecast. I hope you guys have been doing great and fantastic, and I hope you enjoy this forecast. But if you do so happen to enjoy the weather and the forecast, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, give the video a thumbs up, and share with family and friends. Alright, let's get started with the video. Here we go, September 6th, 2023, U.S. weather forecast. Here we go. We're going to start off with the GFS model. I'm only doing two models today in the precipitation forecast. But for the temperature forecast, I'm only going to be doing one model because the models are kind of a little spread out right now. So yeah, let's get started. Okay. So as of right now, we got some moisture going through the Ohio... Sorry, wrong color. Going through the Ohio River Valley. Let me get that right color. And as you can tell, it's actually it's kind of like a front. It's expected to head towards a southeasterly direction, and so for anybody who lives in Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and parts of the Virginias, you guys may get some decent storms in the area. As for the western half of the United States, nothing at this moment. There is a little bit here. I usually don't talk about Mexico in my videos, but there is a little bit of what looks like monsoon surges trying to make a return, which towards the end of this video, we are going to notice a bit of a monsoon surge. It's going to be around this area that I just circled. Okay? Alright. But that's the first sense. So this is for tomorrow. Okay? And this is for the 8th. By the way, my birthday's on that day, so yeah. See, that front is sagging south. That big low pressure system is already in the Canadian district. There's another low pressure system trying to go in here. This one's not going to do very good, though. And then, remember I was talking about that monsoon resurgence? There it is. There it is. Kinda. It's about to get further north from there. Okay, so that's... And that's for the western half of the United States. Not too much right now. Alright, so... Next slide, here we go. This is for Saturday. Okay, I was just trying to see what day this was on. And as you can tell, a little bit more moisture starting to pop up. Oops. Pop up in the mid-south around Louisiana and eastern Texas. That front kind of holds on right here around along the mid-Atlantic and the eastern seaboard. We got to keep an eye on this front because we don't know exactly what it's going to do at this time. But if it continues to hover right here as it slowly goes off the coast, it could produce a tropical system. We don't know at this time, but it's possible. And we got some showers up here in Montana and the Dakotas, which is not bad. I mean, they've needed it for a while now, so yeah. As I was saying, the monsoon resurgence is starting to back off a little bit, but it will eventually head north to New Mexico and the Four Corners. Alright, next slide. I think we have two more slides after this, so let's go ahead and find out. So this is Saturday, September 9th, day after my birthday. So this is Sunday, September 10th, and as you can see, there's still that massive plume of moisture still just sitting right over there. So it may not go out to sea, but if it does in the coming models, it could potentially form a potential tropical system. And we got some showers and thunderstorms across most of the middle part of the country. Florida's also getting hammered in on some good rain. So, alright, I think this slide is our last slide. So, check this out. A little bit of a kind of a resurgence of the monsoon, not particularly, but it is going to affect parts of the middle part of the country and parts of the Intermountain West. So, we got to keep an eye on that. As this still continues to... And these guys are going to get drenched in this area in the mid-Atlantic, so you guys better be careful. I'm going to shout out states real quickly. Alabama, the Carolinas, the Virginia states, and Pennsylvania, and the states north of there, like Rhode Island and Delaware and Massachusetts, including Maine, and yeah. So, we gotta be careful in those areas. So, this should be my last slide for the GFS, where we're going to go ahead and go to the Canadian model. Oh, what that? Sorry, I thought that was my last slide. Sorry, guys. Okay, so it starts to fall apart a little bit, but there's that monsoon resurgence that I was talking about. It's mostly over Texas right now, but there is the string of thunderstorms down here, as there are some thunderstorms right over Texas right now. So we're going to keep an eye on those. And no, I am not ignoring this hurricane out here. I just don't really do hurricane content on my forecast because it's not, people really, they want what they want. So I want to make sure they get what they want. So, but there's a tropical system there, and it looks like it's going to get very close to hitting Bermuda again, which I feel bad for those people because they just got hit about a week ago. So yeah. Alright, I think that's our last, I believe that's our last slide on the GFS. Now we're going on to the CMC, our Canadian model. Here we go. Okay. This one particularly is a little different precipitation-wise. It's a little different with this front right here. The front is not as far south like it was with GFS. So Mississippi and Alabama may not get affected as much, but north, like around Tennessee and Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, could get affected by this front, so yeah. As for the rest of the country, not much going on at this point. It's mostly dry from the Great Plains westward, at least as of right now, in this run, or in this slide. Okay, so that front is slowly sagging east. Low pressure system to the north, from front sagging. Oh, what was my train of thought? The front is sagging towards the south and east, so yeah. Alright, as for the desert southwest and parts of the western United States, we got some popping up thunderstorms. Nothing too spectacular at the moment, but we're going to keep an eye on those. And as for Mexico, as you can tell, the reason why I'm pointing out Mexico is because that's how the monsoon starts. It starts there, and as it starts there, it pushes north. So, alright, and let's go to the next slide. Let's go to Saturday. Alright, here. Potential tropical system there in the Pacific, but I don't think that's going to affect us at all, so I'm not too worried about it. There's that front again, and this funny thing is with this model is it actually does show a connection to the main system, which is way up here, and it's funny because it shows a little bit of precipitation trying to make its way towards Florida, which in the previous couple of slides we were reviewing, this front wasn't going to go any farther south than that, but looks like here it does. So yeah. Alright. Moving on to the next slide, now we're moving on to a Sunday. Alright, so Sunday, we actually got a pretty good complex of storms that forms right over the Carolinas and Georgia, well, just on the northeast side of Georgia. A very good link complex of thunderstorms. Again, potential tropical system. I'm not going to keep an eye on it though right now. It's just going to go out to sea. The little complex of storms forming off the Dakotas and heading straight towards Minnesota and Wisconsin. So yeah. Next slide. And wow, would you look at that? Getting hammered, aren't they? It's centered right over Pennsylvania, Ohio, the Virginias, Delaware, and New York, and some of the smaller states up there. As for Florida, it's more like spotty activity. It's not as soaking wet, so some more spotty thunderstorms, maybe scattered at best. There's that little complex I was telling about that's starting to fall apart, and then here is kind of sort of a monsoon resurgence, not quite exactly, but I think here in the next two slides we'll see a little bit more wetting in this area that I just circled in the four corners. Let's just keep an eye on that and see if that happens. Okay. Oh, got some storms in south central Texas too, by the way. Alright, let's move on to the next slide. And there it is. There's that monsoon resurgence I was talking about. It's not completely covering the whole entire four corner states, but it's definitely centered over New Mexico, Texas, and Colorado is where it's centered at right now. And then, of course, this complex of storms, I can't really tell as of right now if it's going to turn into a mesoscale convective system, because given it does have a bit of a curly Q to it, but we're just going to keep an eye on it and see. As for this is an actual system, and this was that storm that was on the previous slide that was showing a lot of precipitation right over Pennsylvania. Excuse me. So yeah, I think we have one more slide after this, I think. Let me see, because this is for Tuesday. Nope, that was it. So again, here goes the temperature forecast. I only have one forecast available to this, okay? And then we'll get to my forecast. We'll see. You guys will see what my forecast is. So the main one I'm going to use this is GFS. Excuse the tapping, but generally this picture across the United States is going to be kind of the same in the next 7 slides. Although throughout the slides, there will be a bit of a cooling spot right over Nebraska and Kansas and Oklahoma that may be expected to cool down. But this is gonna be like the last two slides of this run. So again, well above average across the eastern seaboard, slightly above average in Florida. It's not too bad there. It's kind of typical for them, and really hot in Texas and New Mexico. I'll tell you that. And it starts to cool off once you get to Colorado. It's still pretty well above average though. Alright, moving on to Friday. Okay, Friday we got extremely warm temperatures here, and this is probably going to be the subtitle to my video. A minor heat wave affecting Texas, because it's pretty warm. I mean, that is what's 12 to 16 degrees above average. Well, close enough. 8 to 12 degrees above average, which is just pretty high. So yeah. Alright, and next slide. Okay, so this is for Saturday, and as you can tell, it just stays there. It doesn't move at all. It just sits there. A little bit of a cool down in the eastern half of the United States, or towards the mid-Atlantic, and then over towards the west, still staying somewhat cool too. There are some pockets though, like the Snake River Valley right there. They're getting some warmer temperatures. Kind of makes sense. Okay, next slide. I'm moving on to Sunday now. Okay, so Sunday, generally kind of the same picture, but let me just show you what I'm looking at right now, what that cool down I was talking about. See this little spludge of cooler water? Well, that's expected, not cooler water, cooler temperatures. That's expected to head down south and affect a lot of the weather down there. Alright, so there it is. There's that cool down I was talking about. That's expected to, it could be caused by a low pressure system, not fully sure, but it just forms out in the balloon, and it's kind of neat to see that, because it didn't come from up here. It came from over the South Dakota. So yeah. Alright, next slide. I think this is our last. I think this is our last slide. Again, a lot of blue popping up there in the center. So there's dramatic change. But my temperature forecast myself, animated, isn't going to really pick up on this cool splash, because it's most of the days it's going to be warm in the areas where this is occurring. So, alright, ready? Here we go. My forecasts. Alright, so as you can tell, well, it's above average across the eastern seaboard, well above average across the center part of the country, and slightly cooler in the northwest in the Ohio River Valley. Okay, and yeah, and then temperature for our precipitation forecast. Okay, so looks like most of the country is going to experience well above average precipitation. But there you go, guys. There you have it. There is my this is my weather forecast for today. Sorry I'm in a rush. I have to go do something. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this forecast. If you guys do, please give the video a thumbs up, share with family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll leave a Discord link in the description from my server. Alright guys, you all have fun, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.